Why do we call hecklers the peanut gallery? Well, it turns out that the phrase comes straight from theater, and it's a perfect reflection of how perceived validity in entertainment criticism can be both classist and racist. The term peanut gallery started in the late 1800s during the vaudeville era. That is a period where there was a mix of comedy and song and spectacle that really laid the groundwork for early cinema. The gallery was the cheapest section in the house, usually up in the balcony. That's where working class audiences sat. Those audiences were known for being loud and opinionated and very quick to express what they thought, sometimes by literally throwing peanuts, which were the cheapest snack that you could buy. So when someone today snarks from the sidelines, we're echoing a history where the most vocal critics came from the least privileged seats in the room. What's interesting is how the same class dynamic echoed into early movie culture. When cinemas were first built, they borrowed a lot from vaudeville layouts. The balconies, the orchestra sections, tiered pricing. The idea that the cheap seats were full of disruptive or unrefined audiences stuck around. But that was really just coded language for class and sometimes race, especially in segregated theaters. Even now, you can still hear traces of that bias when certain audiences get labeled as too loud or not serious moviegoers, while others get to define what respectable film culture looks like. And then, decades later, the phrase did get a second life on television. In 1947, NBC's Howdy Doody show introduced a live studio audience of kids, and they called that the Peanut Gallery. And this was a deliberate nod to vaudeville, but reimagined for TV. Now, instead of rowdy adults throwing snacks, it was enthusiastic children cheering for puppets. That show made the term really mainstream and shifted it from a marker of class to a symbol of playful, participatory audiences. So the next time someone tells the peanut gallery to quiet down, remember that phrase carries more than a century of performance history. From vaudeville theaters to movie houses to live TV studios, it has always been about the tension between the stage and the crowd, between the people who make art and the people who can't help but respond, something we on this app all know very well.